Another adventure. We're headed out to Bethel today. I'm about maybe 7 minutes from the start of the ride, and it's a nice crisp morning. It's about probably 15 Celsius. It's about 60 degrees Fahrenheit, something like that. So we're gonna do our best to get some good clips for you all today. Hope you get a chance to get some K's in.
On this ride, I left Northampton, rolled into the Woodlands, picked up the group at the Alden Village Center. We headed out. We took Fish Creek Boulevard, straight all the way down to where it becomes McCaleb to 105, because a lot of our side roads are under construction. On 105, we went to Walden Road, took the back way to Taco. After Taco, we stopped filming. We went into the forest. Laura had a friend of hers, her coach was visiting from California. So we showed him all our little routes through the forest there, Bethel, and we came back through Montgomery, taking Spring Branch Road, our most scenic route, past Gary, Keenan Cutoff, came back through the Hills Parkway into Keenan, using Hornier Egypt Road to bring us back into the Woodlands. So it was a pretty nice ride. It was a small group, but I prefer small groups because you really get to put your nose in the wind more frequently instead of just sitting in a pace line and keeping your effort lower than you plan. We're on the open road. We're on FM 2978. Fish Creek Thoroughfare, headed north. Montgomery County, Texas. The beautiful crisp morning, and the pirate is pulling right now. Polilonga is filming, rolling through the line, getting everybody on film. We just went down the hill off of the Fish Creek Bridge on Lake Creek. Laura's pulling. So Paul just going through to get everybody on film. That's a red light. It's a short light. That's Michael Wilkins. That's Laura's coach from California, from Bay Area, the Bay Area. He's visiting us. It's his first time with us, so we're rolling out. That's Roy behind him. I'm sitting on Roy's wheel. That's Mike Barreras. And Mike Bradbury, he's been off the bike for at least 6 weeks, he said. So he's just going to go with us for a bit, and then he's going to shorten the route. Just trying to get his fitness back. So Paul is telling him that he was going to get in the line in front of Michael. So yeah, when you've been off the bike, if you come to a group ride, sample the pace, sit in, and if it's too fast for your current condition, don't do the whole route. Listen to your body, because you don't want to force yourself, because you will set yourself back. So he knows how to get himself in shape. So you got to do some work on your own and build back your fitness before you can come and do. But we're doing about 75 miles. So if you've been off the bike for a while, it's a long ride. So you can do the first hour or so, but after that, like the third hour, it's just hard on the body. Mike Barreras right here in front of Polilonga. So now what's happening is Roy is going to do a race in Colombia. He told me next week he's going to do a race in Colombia. He said it's a 100-mile race, 162 kilometers. And what I told him was enjoy the vacation, because he has not been training anywhere near that kind of duration. So he's not going to have the durability to finish, to do well in the fourth, fifth hour or so forth. So, the rides that he's been doing with us because of other obligations, he turns around early every Saturday. So, endurance will be a problem for him. He really should be doing shorter races if he's going to race by criteriums, because he doesn't have the time for building his fitness for longer races right now. So he's going to do his usual thing here. I've already told Michael, who's Laura's coach, that Roy will do attacks or whatever or force the pace, and we usually just let him go. And so you will see the two of them playing, and I just hold the group pace because Mike Bradbury, who has been off the bike, told me, I don't know if I'm going to go with you guys. And I told him, well, we're going to do a steady ride. That's my plan. I want to do a long day. So it's not going to be slow, but it's going to be steady. So I made sure I kept the pace steady as I promised him. Because a lot of cyclists would say, oh, we're not going hard. And then when the ride starts, everything out the window. I don't like to do that. If I tell somebody what I'm going to do, I stick to it. This is a good clip, 22, 23. This is a false flat, and I think we're going into the wind. You can hear it. I'm putting on my glasses real quickly. So regardless of the situation, let's say, Michael's been off for a while, and he's going to be monitoring his efforts. Whether you've been off or whether you train all the time, if you get up one day, you're not feeling great, or you got a cold or whatever, even if you don't have a cold, but you're just feeling kind of meh, that's not the day for you to take a lot of poles, or even don't hesitate to shorten your ride, or don't ride that day, whatever, or ride by yourself. Don't feel like you start a group ride, you have to finish it. You got to listen to how you feel, because there's such a thing called unproductive training, meaning you don't want to dig a hole. If your body is struggling with something, whether it's stresses from the week or a bug or whatever, listen to your body always. So I titled this Group Pacing because you're going to see what I do when these guys start to play. And, and then after a while, when we get closer to taco, the pace kind of settles down and it's okay. But you've got to keep your group together. You don't need your group to be big for it to be, effective. You actually only need 3 to 5 riders. That is ideal, so that you can get a good workout. Big groups, that's the group speed. If you're not sticking your nose in the wind every few minutes, that's not your pace. Because you can sit in a big group with 40 or 30 riders and just get pulled along and have no training effect. So the size of the group does not relate to or equate to the success of the group. Keep that in mind. And always find a group that works for you. Just like any social gathering, just because somebody rides a bike doesn't mean you're going to like riding with them. Find the people that you enjoy riding with and ride with them, or ride by yourself. You don't need to hang out with people you don't like just because they ride bikes. So you can relax, because when you're hanging out with people that don't work for you, it creates stress or strife. So there's no point in recreating with people that you don't want to be around. You get enough of that crap at work. You don't need to do it on the weekend. You tolerate a lot of your coworkers. So pick your groups. Hang out with the people you enjoy being around. Or do an open ride where you don't know anybody. You just go. You don't have to say anything other than hello, and you just sit and you do the workout and you leave when you want. No drama, no fuss. Because groups have a lot of drama. I don't have patience for that. Groups, social groups have drama, and cycling groups are no exception. So if you're with a group that has a lot of drama and it bothers you, or it creates discomfort for you, avoid them. Don't hang out with people you don't like. You can get fast riding by yourself. You don't need a group. It just helps you pass the time. I believe Michael, his name is Michael Wilkins. He's on Strava. I think he's pulling right now. Yeah, he pulls off. So Roy's going to take over. And Roy, once the road goes up, he acts like he's sprinting for a preem or the finish line. That's just how he rides. So he just pulled out, and now he's going back to. Oh, that's because Roy's taking up. So he's chasing Roy. So this is where they start to play. I don't know if I get on his wheel here, but after a while, I'm going to ignore what they're doing and just keep the group together. We're riding for at least 4 hours. So the first hour, we don't want to burn, all your sugars, so to speak. Because even when you're riding steadily, you need some carbs. Yeah, they're not too far ahead. They do those efforts and then they have to sit up. See, I don't like to ride like that. If I make a move and I do an effort, I'm gonna keep going. I'm not gonna sit up because there's no point. What's the point of that? I don't do intervals of group rides. So I think this is where I just continue to ride. So we're holding a group pace here. I'm going through the gears. The road's kind of going down here. It's going to level off. We're going to catch up to them in a bit. And then Michael Wilson is going to tell me, oh, I'm going to go get him because Roy goes again. And he's going to tell me, I'm going to go get him. And I just kind of nod my head because I'm not participating in what they're doing at this point. But we catch up to them. I keep the train moving and we just go by. Then he tells me I'm going to go get him because Roy is going again. And I nodded my head. So he outsprints Roy. I think Roy gets on his wheel. No, Roy doesn't. Okay, so Roy started it, but then he didn't continue. His gear's too big. I think Roy is in too big of a gear. Not sure what he's doing. But I just keep our effort going. I'm settling into a rhythm here. I'm going to be riding probably around 250 watts or so. And they're sat up. So Michael here sat up. That's Laura's coach. And Roy, so he sat up and Roy is still going up there. This is why I'm not changing the group pace, because I'm not sure what Roy is doing. And, Michael just wants to play. So he's going with Roy. So that's what you need to do with your group. We have a lot of groups in the area that complain that, people come and they hijack the group. Nobody can hijack your group unless you allow them to. You are not obligated to follow someone who's doing a pace that you didn't plan to do. It's your group. Whether it is one of you or 20 of you, it's your group. Let your group know before you guys start that this is what we're doing. So when someone does something different, group, let them go. But in our area, it's hard for people to let people go because their ego gets in the way. I don't have that problem, please. So I'm just keeping the effort. I don't know what I'm doing at 3-something watts. Yeah, so 398 or whatever. I'm just riding because my plan is to carry this effort and just keep the train moving because I'm feeling pretty good. I'm right at sweet spot and I'm just going to keep riding. I'm just keeping everything steady. So I'm going to go through the gears. Now we're over the hill. We're going downhill. I'm going to go through the gears. The speed's going to pick up. This is where you can carry a higher speed without using big power. That's Roy over there on the right. So I've said it before. When you go to a group for the first time, find out what they're doing. Blend in. If they're doing surges like you saw Roy do or you saw Michael chasing Roy and you want to play with him, join them. But don't do something until at least you find out what they're doing so that you become a member of the tribe, so to speak. So Michael's sitting on the back right now. I see Roy in the distance. Okay, I guess he's coming back. He was sitting up, probably resting from his effort. So that's Michael Bradbury behind Laura, and he's been off the pace. So I'm thinking that we're going to ride steadily, and that's what I'm sticking to. Because even if he's out of shape, he can at least find a rhythm than when you're surging. So I'm going to pull for a while, and then after a while, Marco Wilkins is going to come up, Laura's coach, and he's going to give me his wheel. And then after a few pedal strokes, I'm going to ride up and let him know that we're going to be turning left at Highway 105 in the distance. Mike's pointing at something. I'm not sure what it is. They fixed, that's Capitol Hill Road. They fixed that road. There's no more bump. It's nice and smooth. But Ribbon Chapel is all torn up, so we can't go that way. They're fixing up. It's gonna be. We rode that road the other way about a week ago, and it was very nice. So it's gonna be neat. So we're going around we're detouring around the construction. One thing about Texas, they don't mess with our roads. You know, look at them. I mean, look at this road. This is beautiful. They have their issues, but roads are pretty decent. This was a very nice summer that we just had. One of the best ones I've experienced since I've started living in this state. So they can say, you know, the people who doubt climate change can say that all they want. I see it. You know, it's real. The road starts to go up here a little bit. So Michael comes up and I just get on his wheel. I'm keeping the train moving. And that's how you give somebody a wheel. If I'm doing 21 miles an hour and you come up, say you're doing 22, 23, you just want to get in front of me just as soon as you clear so I don't have to change my pace. And that's what he did. So I'm sitting on his wheel, I get a drink, and then a little bit I'm going to roll up and let him know that we're going to be turning. Because he doesn't have the route. It's his first time riding with us. That's what you kind of want to do when you have guests with your group. Keep your eye on them, make sure everything's cool, especially if they don't have the route. And Paulie Longa is going to go play with him. You know, when we get in the forest, they go and they do some intervals, you know, and so forth and so on. Because after a while, he's like, nobody wants to play. And this is off camera. And so they go and they do that. I'm going to ride up. I don't know if it's around here or after this climb. Probably after the climb. I don't like to waste a lot of energy. That's why I probably waited till after the climb. I'm in the same gear. I just stood up because it felt better. So you have to practice that where you stand and you sit without your bike coming back. Now some riders will flick their arms before they stand. I don't do that because my bike is not going to go back when I stand. I stand with a forward motion and I sit with the forward motion. I pull the bike under me. So at no time is my bike affecting the rider following me. This is what I let him know that we're going to be turning. And I tell him to go back to the front. So when you have a rider that comes to visit, you need to make sure that you let them know what the turns are, especially if they don't have the map. And then you keep your eye out for them and make sure that everything's kosher. It's okay, you know, because they're a stranger in your area. Don't take them out there and just leave them out there. You need to have at least one local person watching out for them. Because when we started the ride, I told him, I said, you know, Roy likes to, you know, do jumps and stuff. He said, oh, I'm ready for anything. So I told him we're turning left, and he's going in the actual left turn lane. So I'm going to tell him to use, there are 2 lanes going left. So I tell him to use this lane because you can go straight or left. This is Highway 105. This part of Fish Creek is called McCaleb Road.
We got here to this one point on the mic. The girl fell right there.
Oh, yeah.
She didn't unclip?
She couldn't.
She's brand new. She's just learning how to clip. She's proving every week.
So somebody forgot to unclip on Mike's Friday ride.
Yeah, she was there a couple weeks before you.
That's happened to me when I was getting into cycling newly. I forgot I was clipped in. It was embarrassing more than anything because I was all kitted out. And so I acted like something was wrong with the bike.
Hang that leg,
Yeah, so.
Remember we used to practice in the parking lot?
Yep. I remember.
Yeah, Paul and I used to practice clipping in. We'd go in the parking lot and practice clipping in without looking. So yeah, now when I'm clipping in, I don't have to look at the pedal. It's just there. I don't use a lot of force. I just let it happen. Because when you do a lot of force and you miss, that pedal can swing back. That's the pirate right there. Loretta. El pirata, la pirata. Depending on what language you're speaking. Italian or Spanish. I love the size of the group. I like for the group to be 10 or less. I think that was just a piece of cardboard. They have finished the construction on this road. What they have been doing, if you look to the left, you will see that yellow divider, the traffic divider. They used to have a middle turn lane, but with the volume and the growth out here, it gets riskier when you allow people to turn at will everywhere. And you know, people's judgment. So they were causing a lot of head-on collisions. They've done the same thing on roads near where I live in the spring area. They've added that actually prevents head-on collisions because you can only turn at certain designated points. So it forces, it cuts down on surprises. Those center turn lanes work great if it's very rural and it has sparse traffic. So we're heading towards a road called Walden Road. I'm staying at the top of Zone 2, but the road is very forgiving right now. It's flat to slightly downhill. In a bit, it's going to start going uphill. You'll see the watts start to go up. The shoulder here used to be a little wider than this, but they've added a third lane, and this is still a decent sized shoulder. Relatively clean. They keep adding lanes. That does not solve congestion. It just prolongs the inevitability of congestion. You have to have alternate means, viable alternate means of transportation. That's the only way you get rid of congestion. But North America don't seem to get the hang of that. The rest of the world has. If we had decent public transportation like trains and buses and trams, I'd get rid of my car. Get rid of that expense in a heartbeat. But here we're enslaved in the automobile. The road's going up 2%. So whenever I'm in a group and I'm pulling on a gradual climb like this, I try to keep it 250, not too much more than 300 watts. We're stopping, the light changed. You notice we just use signal. It's so much more effective. Everybody should be paying attention anyway, but that's just nice to just let people know. This is Roy. Roy is going to Colombia. I'm sure he's going on vacation, but there's a bike race there.
Turn back.
It's a taco?
Yeah.
Good, he should be there.
Roy usually turns up, but Roy ended up going with us further. He said he's doing a 100-mile race. That's what I'm telling him. He's not ready for the 100-mile race. 100-kilometer race, maybe. So when he told me, I verified whether he meant 100 kilometers or 100 miles, and then he said 100 miles. I told him 162 kilometers. He said, yeah, because Roy mostly speaks Spanish, and the Spaniards are into the metric system, so I like to converse with him that way. So we just started talking here. I mean, it's pretty interesting because actually I'm listening to Mike. I don't remember what he was talking about, but it was pretty interesting. So we're just rolling side by side. So when you're rolling with people like this, don't half wheel them. So when I stand, I'm keeping my eye on Mike's front wheel. Because if you half wheel him, it's kind of rude. And then, the pace keeps going up, going up. You ride alongside somebody, just keep the wheels together. Keep the front wheels on the same line. So I'm not sure how your group works, but you don't really stay on the rivet the entire group ride. There's sections like this where, you kind of just rolling for a bit. So we're not going very, very slow. We're doing about 20 miles an hour. I'm in zone 2, top of zone 2. So this is this is zone 2 where we can talk comfortably. I'm not out of breath or anything. Most of your training really should be in this range. And then you can mix in some higher efforts during that ride, maybe later in the ride or at the end. I like to do mine at the end when I'm tired. So you don't need a very wide shoulder to ride 2 abreast. The shoulder is nice and clean. So we're just riding and chat. That's the cool thing about our sport. It's hard to run and talk like that. We're on the open road. We're in Conroe, Texas. There's the pirate. Look at all this pavement. 3 lanes for cars. No pedestrian facilities or anything. Tell you. So yeah, we're not as free as we think we are in North America. We have very few choices, if that. Everybody has to have a car to exist. You look for a job, the first thing they ask you, do you have a car to get to work? And if you don't, you don't stand a very good chance of getting hired. And that really sucks. And my fellow Americans who have not seen the world think this is it. They don't know what they're missing out on. So it's harder for the kids to be independent in North America because mom and dad got to take them everywhere. I mean, it's not all of North America. I'm sure there are little coves, even in the U.S., that have public transportation up to snuff, but it's just the minority. I love riding trains because you can either sleep or you can read. You can do other stuff instead of being stuck in a car driving. And the stresses of being in a car when you're in traffic, or you are part of traffic, is that you don't know. There's the uncertainty of not knowing when the traffic will clear or when your journey will be over. That creates a lot of stress on your body. So we ride like this for a bit, and I don't know when we're going to start really riding again, but we're riding. But we're going to get on Walden Road, and then we're going to start moving again, and you'll see in a bit. But this is a good pace, 20 miles an hour, let's say. If you sit in a group at 20 miles an hour and you've been cycling for any decent amount of time, even if you've been off for a while like Michael has, that's a good pace to get back in shape quickly. But you got to be with a group that's disciplined to do that. And that's what I tell people all the time. So if you're the person that's in shape, take longer pulls. Let the person who's struggling sit in. So both of you get a workout. Whatever we're talking about is interesting because I don't like to just talk. I got to be talking about something meaningful. So we got to be talking about something pretty interesting. I think he's asking me about where we're turning. I think I'll let him know there's a next one or something like that. Yeah. So whatever we're talking about was good. I told him let's use this little lane here. We're going to use the road. There's a curb jutting out right there. See that? I hate when they do that. I don't know why they do that. Put the curb on the shoulder. That's what I'm telling us. I don't know what they do. They do that in the woodlands. Every corner, the curb comes out. We've had cyclists that have hit that thing. It's in the way. So most of the time in the woodlands, I just use the road, unless it's very, very busy. I hate having to deal with those curves, because you got to jump back into the main lane when you come to the corner or an intersection. The road's going up. I see the watts, and I can, as I watch this film, I can see my body language. And what I do, because I'm pushing a big gear, so what I'm doing is I'm making sure I'm not just using my quads. I'm making sure my hamstring and my glutes are participating. We're turning, I think, at the next light. There's too many lights. There's a light right here, and there's one like 50 meters. It's too many lights.
The city limits are weird. So this is Conroe. So what were you used to?
Okay, so yeah, I'm asking Mike. That city limit sign says entering Conroe ahead of us. I thought we were already in Conroe.
Yeah, about 5. Give or take. Yeah, about 5.
I have this buckless tape on my bike that I got. I got exposed to it from Laura. Laura brought a bike in, and I wrapped it, and I really love the feel. So really, since I got it, most of the time I just loved riding bare hands. It just feels good. I mean, you know, in a sketchy ride, it's good to have gloves, but I just love the feel of this tape. And Buckles makes all kinds of tape. I'm letting the driver know we're going to take this lane because it's ending, and we're going to be turning right. This road is called Walden Road. Has a lot of little bumps. Shopping centers on the right. I think there's Walmart, other stuff. Took a while for me to get used to the shopping centers in the U.S. where they have these huge parking lots. Because where I grew up, the stores are right there. They're not far away. Michael Wilkins going again.
San Diego Mike.
So we have 3 Mikes. San Diego Mike on the right, English Mike on the left, and Michael Wilkins said to call him Bay Area Mike. So Bay Area Mike is up the road. English Mike is on the left. I'm holding the group pace. Mike Barreras is on my wheel. And then Bay Area Mike just turned off the pace up front. I ride up to him and tell him that we're going to be turning left in about a mile. So he's aware. That's what I'm telling him as we go by. It's such a glorious day. It is 70 degrees Fahrenheit, 21 Celsius. Sunny, light wind, crispy, cool morning. The kit I'm wearing is Rafa, and it's pretty, it's not lightweight, but it's kind of it's for mild temperatures. Because when it's cool like this, I don't like to wear the flyweight stuff. It's just too cool in the morning. This is where we're going to be turning. And we catch the light. And you're going to see me motion that. So what happens is I'm standing at this light, and we have the red to turn left. So we get the yellow to turn. You can turn left on yellow, but it's unprotected. We've got so many cars coming, so we can't really go safely. And then in a bit, one of the drivers will slow down, but I don't realize that he's getting the red. I didn't think we were going to get it. And I'm waving it. Then he said, oh, no, he got the red. Because he was slowing down. Because some drivers would slow down for us.
Red.
Because I was like, come on, man, let's go. I wanted him to go so we could go. So I didn't realize that he got the red light, and because some drivers will slow down for you and give up there right away, even after you're stopped like we were, and that just throws off the rhythm. So that's what Paul was saying, elder. Because I was waving him on like, come on, man, so we can go. And they're doing the same thing at stop signs. Sometimes they'll be at the stop sign, you haven't gotten there yet, like a four-way. They'll wait for you to get there, then tell you to go. Like, you could have gone, dude. You know. It throws off the rhythm. But whenever it's safe and they tell me to go, when it's safe, I go. But sometimes it's not safe when they tell you to go. So don't always fall for that.
Hey, Laura. I said a confirmation of a dream.
Nothing to worry about.
Confirmation of a dream.
Wow. Well, let me sit.
Crazy how those things add up.
I don't know if Roy is pulling. I think Roy is pulling. So in this area here, we're about probably 2 to 3 miles from Taco. So when Michael goes, I'm going to go with him. I'm sitting on his wheel. I believe Roy is pulling, and I think Barrera is on Roy's wheel. Or it may be the other way. I'll see. Let's see if we get a shot that shows it. So this is kind of the back way to get to the road called Lone Star Parkway that takes us to Taco Corner. And we did this because of the construction on Mill Route and, well, not Mill Route, but Raven Chapel, which connects to Mill Route. We're going to be turning left. We'll always call the car up because just in case somebody behind you wants to cut corners, you let them know there's a car coming so they can turn wide. I think this is where he goes, and I'm going to go on and jump on his wheel. And the rest of the group will catch up to us. Then right around here, he takes off. And he's been doing that the whole ride. So I decided, okay, let's play. So I go right there. I accelerate. So I let him know that we're going to be turning right at the light. There is a light coming up. I let him know we're turning right. So he's aware of the turn. So it's clear. We go ahead and turn. We see the watts go up 6-something watts. But after about probably maybe 100 meters, he slows down significantly. And I just go ahead and keep the effort going. You'll see that in a bit. So right there, we just, I'm like 4-something watts, 500 watts. Then it's going down, you can see 2-something. So that's half the effort. It's like, I think we even go below 100 watts or something. And I just keep going. Yeah, 100 and something watts. So I just go ahead and roll because he slowed down significantly. I just keep the group pace going. So when I used to compete, when I would make a move like that, if you're gonna make a move like that and you do all that work, just keep it going. Just a decent pace going. But slowing way down like that, it's just that yo-yo stuff is basic road racing tactics. In a group ride, it's just like, you know. So I end up at the front and I just keep riding, and we're going to Taco. Taco is about probably half a kilometer away. 700 meters maybe. The light's red, I check left, nothing's coming. I'll go ahead and take a wide turn. And we're just gonna roll into Taco. I just keep the effort the same. We're just riding at a steady pace, basically. So those moves it disrupts the flow of the effort. So if you're gonna do that and you start, you should just keep it going instead of slowing way down. Because all it does is the weaker riders struggle when you put out big watts. And I talked about it in my prior video where I said big watts break up the group. I'm just going through the gears, I'm just keeping my pedaling going close to 90 as possible. We're just riding here. Keeps a steady rhythm. That's what I mean when I say group pace. Just keep it rolling, keep the train rolling. So I don't know what you did this weekend, but this is part of what we did on Saturday. Remember, get your K's in and keep all the doctors fired. So we spent about 3.5, 4 hours with Laura's coach. It was kind of cool. So it was nice to meet him, and we had an interesting Saturday. This is Taco Corner. This is our main stop. All the cyclists come out. Whenever you're riding out here on Saturday, if you come out here in the morning, 99% of the time you will meet other cyclists at this stop.
Yes, sir.
So according to the map, we're not stopping here on the way back. We're waiting until Keenan cutoff.